glanced at the clock again. It was a half-hour past closing time. Mrs. Schultz and Archie, my 2 employees, were perfectly capable of closing the shop on their own, but I felt bad they were being forced to do so. Plus, I had a date tonight with Roman, who had been inching his way out of the friend zone for the past 3 months. Excitement bubbled up like a fizzy drink when I thought about our first kiss outside my apartment door and the way my security light clicked off in the middle of it, like a movie screen fading to black after the happy ending. I sighed. If I didn't get back to reality, I wouldn't get back to Roman. "Are you satisfied with the cheeses I've selected for the shower tomorrow?" I asked the Harrington women with hidden crossed fingers. Mrs. Schultz, who was smack dab in her 60s, as she liked to say, tentatively approached the kitchenette where I was doing the sampling. "Excuse me, Willa. I'm sorry to interrupt." She displayed her usual toothy grin, even after a full day of work. Her cheery disposition was matched by the bright colors of the dresses and scarves she always chose to wear under her Curds Whey apron. "Archie and I are done closing the shop." I excused myself from the Harringtons and walked with Mrs. Schultz to the front of the shop where we met Archie. I'd been mentoring 20-year-old Archie since Curds Whey opened last year. He was a lanky guy with a generous sprinkling of freckles across his face and a port wine stain on his cheek. His love of cheese, along with his work ethic and enthusiastic personality, were assets to my shop. Both he and the equally loyal Mrs. Schultz had quickly become much more than employees. They were 2 of my closest friends. "I'm sorry about this. I had no idea they'd still be here," I said in a hushed voice. "No problem," Archie replied. "Do you need us to stick around?" "Gosh, no. You 2 get home. I know you have your poker night to get to, Mrs. Schultz. I hope I haven't made you late." "It's at Sylvia's house tonight, so I've got plenty of time. No worries," she said. "Thanks for the extra help." I let them out the front door and locked it behind them, wishing I was following them out. I returned to the rear of the shop, where Chloe seemed as anxious as I was to wrap up the evening. Thus far, Chloe was my favorite Harrington. "I think we have enough choices, Mother. We're supposed to meet Nelson and the Trumbolls for dinner," Chloe said, although I couldn't believe she'd even be hungry for dinner. Summer had taken out a compact mirror and was reapplying her lipstick, which was the exact shade of rose pink as her mother's. "You're supposed to be the one throwing me this shower, Chloe. You'd think you'd be a little more invested in it," she said, pouting her pink lips in the mirror. "I've eaten so much cheese, I won't poop for a week. How much more invested can I be?" Chloe answered. "Chloe, we don't use those kinds of words," her mother scolded. Chloe continued. "What's the big deal anyway? It's not like this is your first wedding. We've gone through this routine before." Summer snapped her compact mirror shut. "You're just jealous because you've never been asked. And you're just uptight because you're afraid this one will leave you at the altar like your last fiancé." Oh my, this was spiraling fast. Cheese usually made people happier, not heated. "Mother," Summer pleaded with Olivia for backup. "Girls," Mrs. Harrington admonished, although she didn't seem that ruffled. I got the feeling their squabbling wasn't new to her. I, on the other hand, was mortified on everyone's behalf. Thank goodness, a knock on the door of the shop gave me an excuse to leave the table. It might have been a customer ignoring the closed sign and dimmed front lights. I hoped it wasn't Roman. I was going to have to text him and tell him I was running late. Through the paned glass door, I saw the statuesque Mare Trumbull. Her son Everett and her nephew Nelson, Summer's fiancé, were with her. Oh no, don't tell me there are going to be even more opinions about my cheese choices. I hoped my face didn't reveal my inner thoughts. I unlocked and opened the door. "Mare Trumbull, this is a nice surprise." I allowed them in, forcing a smile. The mare wore a power red blazer over a black sheath dress that landed just at her knee and modest heels. Everett and Nelson were about the same.